Hi, my name is Damon Lavenski, and I'll be going through a tutorial on how to create a simple, a little more than simple facial rig. This facial rig is based on the Digital Tutors facial rig, so if you want to know how to create a more flexible and more complicated rig, you should go on to Digital Tutors and learn from there. This tutorial will only go through about half of what they show there, and I'm going to keep it as simple as I possibly can. There are things you must know before you start this tutorial, like how to create these switches and how to lock stuff, lock the curves so you can move them left and right, and I will be showing some of how I do that here, but you should know that beforehand, and how to create joints and skinning, at least the basis of that. I will show more skinning tricks in this tutorial. So without further ado, let me begin. So let's begin at looking at our scene and see how it is put together. So I have two elements. I got the joints, which have been skinned to my character. As you can see, I got a neck joint and I got the head joint, and I skinned them. See, there's a little problem there, but that's not a big deal. Anyway, I'm going to do some more skinning. The reason I'm showing it this way, and I'm going to build a separate joint chain for this, is if you use the human IK system, this is how you're going to get basically the connections, and then from there, if you use human IK, all you have to do is parent this to the head joint and everything sorts itself out. And I'll talk about the different ways to connect to the human IK system at the end of this tutorial. By the way, you should, if you're interested in the human IK system, I did make 3 videos on the human IK system, and which goes through just the basis of that. I am gonna create another human IK system where I go over animating in human IK and go over a lot of the options there. So again, what I have is a joint chain and a group, which within it I've put my several parts: the eyes, the hair, the gums and the teeth, the tongue and the hair. All of these geometric parts I'm going to have to connect or parent somehow, and I'm going to show that. Then I have my blend shapes, which are hidden right now, but they are there. And then I'm going to explain how to connect the facial elements. I created the blend shapes using Mudbox. If you are interested in a tutorial about that, please post a request on the YouTube channel or on my site, which is going to appear now. Alright, and that's it. So let's continue. So that's what I have. I have a group with, within it groups. I also have my controllers. I got a group for the controllers. I locked and hidden all of the attributes other than the top group, and the reason I did that is because they're just placeholders to keep stuff in them, and I don't want the animators to move anything. I also usually lock and hide, different all of these attributes, so the animator will only move what he's supposed to move. But at the moment I haven't locked them because I want to first connect everything, and then when I'm done with that, I'll lock and hide attributes and just leave the ones I need. So also that I'll show in this video, or at least we're already 4 minutes in. I guess it's gonna be more than one video. Okay, so here we go. first thing I want to do is create some joints. So I'm going to move to the side view because it's easier. And the first joint chain I'm going to make is basically the jaw. So I'm going to choose, I'm going to go to skeleton joint tool, and I'm going to just draw the jaw, which usually starts just under the ear and goes down to about there, and this should be about enough. Alright, I'm going to page up with the up arrow, and I'm going to create, actually I'll just enter it, and I'm going to create another joint, which this joint is going to be called BN for non-bound bone, left eye. Alright, O1. Now let's name our joints. So this is going to be BE for bound bone, jaw. Alright, O1. I'm going to copy the name and page down. Sorry, page down. And paste the name, and just instead of, and just add tip with a capital T, one word. That also is a naming convention coming from Digital Tutors. For the naming conventions, you should see quadruped rigging. It's got a wonderful naming convention. Alright, now I created this one joint for the eyeball. And the reason I created a joint for the eyes is because what I want to do is when I move the head, I want the whole thing to move together, and later on I'm actually going to use it for the eyelids. So you'll see how I'm going to do that later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the eyeball, and I'm going to go up to display and transform display, and selection, okay, selection handle, and you'll see it will, if I isolate it, you'll see it like added this little X in the middle. Alright, so let me unisolate. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to choose both of them now and isolate them. It's Shift I if you don't know. And I'll press 4, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap using the V key to the handle in the middle. Alright, so now it's standing in the middle of the eye, which is very important. Alright, so now I'm going to choose the eye. I'm going to go back to display and turn off the selection because I don't need it no more, and go back here, and now I'm going to just leave that for now. I'm going to duplicate it and snap that right to this. I'm going to isolate both of these again. I want to snap that to the jaw joint. Now the jaw joint is a bit wide, so I'm going to just make the radius small, let's say 0.4, and the radius here will also be 0.2, so it's smaller, and this radius of this one I'll make, say, 0.8. Alright, so it's big enough. Alright, why did I do this? Because what I want to do now is connect everything. And because the jaw has to be a separate orientation, alright, it's going to have its own rotation. I don't want it, when I move it, and the jaw, to move the eyeball. So I'm going to choose the eyeball, and we're going to parent it to this, and I'm going to choose the jaw and parent it to here, parent. Alright, so all in all, I have now a simple parenting system. Now I'm going to mirror the joint to the other side because it's already renamed. So I'm going to go to skeleton, mirror joints, and I'll go into its options. And here what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the XY, and I'm going to choose to replace the left and to the right header. Alright, so I did it wrong. I want the YZ. Alright, there we go. So because I know I've built this symmetrical, alright, so now I know it is symmetrical. I mean, the eyeball is sitting exactly in the middle of the eyeball. I think this eyeball is not exactly in the middle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose this in the eyeball. I'm going to isolate them again. And this time I will snap the eyeball to the to this. So now it's exactly in the middle. This is very important. Alright, I'm going to freeze transform. Not the joint, of course. I'm going to freeze transform the eyeball itself. I'm actually going to freeze transform everything. Alright, actually whatever I can. Okay, so I'm press G, which didn't do anything, so I'm going to go freeze transform. I've got a shortcut over here. Alright, so that's sorted. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is just take this controller out a bit, and I'll freeze transform it again, is create a follow eye. So what I'll do is I'll take each eye, alright, and what I do is aim it constrained to each one of these controllers. Alright, so this controller is called CC left, this one should be called CC right. Alright, for control curve. Alright, and of course it doesn't need the one, so I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm going to choose the right eyeball and this. They're both being frozen, the transformations, and I'm going to go to aim constraint, under constraint, or animation, under your animation, constraint, go to the aim, and very important to make sure that maintain offset is on, and press apply. Alright, and then we test it. Alright, so the first thing you choose the control on the controller and then the controlled. Alright, so now if I move this, you see the eyes will move with it. You have to admit this is kind of cool. Alright, next thing I want to do is create fleshy eyes. Alright, so the fleshy eyes, I choose the geometry. Actually, you know what, we'll wait with the fleshy eyes because I think it might cause problems when it comes to the skinning. Alright, so now basically what I need to do is connect this to the rig. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll choose the jaw, and I want to connect it to the skin, so I'll choose the skin. And under skinning, alright, I go to edit skin, and the first option I have is add influence. Because I've already got skinning to this guy here, I needed to add this joint. So basically, if I now go to skinning, edit skin, paint weight tool, alright, and I'll double click on the icon so I get the tools, you'll see now that I have the jaw, but the jaw right now is not doing anything. I'm gonna before I do this, I'm gonna actually stop the video and create a video just on skinning, and then from there we'll go on. But right now, what do we have? I have just the basic joints, and I got the eye rig down, so now I got a follow rig. See, this is working, and all I need to do now is catch this part of the rig and the head joint and parent it. And basically now if I choose the head joint, alright, and move it around, you see, it will move it. Now all my skinning, once I did the add influence, is kind of gone shot, so I have to redo that. I'll probably stop the video now and go over that, but I'll skin it again the way I had it before, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna just do the jaw. just because it takes a long time. I want you to go through the whole process. You should know how to do this on your own, but I'll go over some of it. So what do we have now? We have a simple I follow, and we have it connected. We have the joints that connect the whole thing together. So I'll stop the video, and in my next video we'll go over skinning, and we'll see how far we get with that one.